I almost forgot my headphones. Sorry, had to make you wait till I got these on. Don't know if this will make me sound better or not. So, let's talk about the year 1993. Well, a lot of good shows were premiering back then. NYPD Blue, which at the time was pretty interesting for a cop show. It was an ensemble cast, and it wasn't uncommon to actually see cops beat up suspects. So it's considered quite gritty at the time. The X-Files, also Briscoe County Jr. Fans of that show will know of which I speak. Star Trek Deep Space Nine also premiered. The best Grammy for new artists went to Arrested Development, which was the first time that a hip hop artist won in this category. So that was interesting. At the Oscars, the best movie picture went to Unforgiven. Let's see, some other things. Sad news in 1993, my favorite actor, Vincent Price, died of lung cancer. Oh, man, I loved Vincent Price. He's so great. Also, CERN made put into the public domain the code for the World Wide Web, thus making the internet available to the public for free. Absolutely a phenomenal change up until then. Changed the world. Can you believe that there was a time pre-internet? Anyway, so I mentioned Unforgiven. Great movie. Wasn't really respected when it came out. The critics later came back and said, "Oh, we were mistaken. We were wrong. Unforgiven was good." Well, the movie I want to talk about is from 1993 is Coneheads. Yes, a Saturday Night Live sketch stretched out into 2 hours into a feature film with Dan Aykroyd and Jane Curtin. Now, again, critics were not kind when it initially came out. Oddly enough, some of the critics are still not kind. But the reason I'm recommending this film is it has a great appeal. It appeals to people when it came out in 1991. By then, the skit was almost 10 years old. And so it had a nostalgic appeal. This movie kind of further ingrained the whole Conehead from even deeper into our pop culture. And what's also really funny is a lot of Saturday Night Live actors show up in the course of this film. You got John Lovett. Oh my God, just one after another. And so seeing them was fun, and it's still fun now to go back and see them say, "Oh, they were doing that little shtick there." They were all in for it, not because it was a great movie, but just because it was fun, and that's where this movie has legs. It remains fun. Oh, John Candy doing some really good work in this film. I would still sit down and watch Coneheads. And more than likely, I'm always surprised whenever I make a movie recommendation that people haven't seen the film. They know about the film, they've seen the various clips, they might even seen a few of the clips, but have they actually watched the film from start to finish? No. And even though some elements might still be dated, for the most part, it holds up to being silly and fun. You just can't, it's hard to go wrong with it. Yes, all of it's over the top, but I, I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to recommend this over. I mean, there were a lot of other schlocky sci-fi and horror films that came out in 1993. So I just want to I want to put something that this would be a fun date night movie. So that's my recommendation. I'm sticking with it. I love watching Coneheads. I hope you do too. Now, if you'll enjoy this movie recommendation, this little hop into the past, and I hope you watch my other ones. I'll put a link in the doobly-doo down below for the trailer to Coneheads. Do your due diligence on the World Wide Web, and I'm sure you'll be able to find it somewhere. Please like and follow me. I would appreciate that. And I would also love to hear what movies you'd like me to recommend. Now, I'm thinking about jumping ahead to 2003. So make those comments and I'll look through them. I try to usually go for a sci-fi and horror because it was my habit when I was growing up to watch shock theaters on Friday nights. And that's where these Friday night recommendations come from. And I suppose the Coneheads is so much sci-fi. Honest to God, it just tickles me. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and I'll see you next week.